Message here says, hello, Jess, I'm very upset about my situation. When I met my husband, he was married, but told me he didn't love his wife anymore because she only focused on their children. He felt he was no longer her priority and it had affected their marriage. He told me he forced her to undergo tubal ligation, which, of course, with the intention of not having any more babies, yet still most of her attention was invested in the children. Now, he wanted a woman who would make him her priority, and that's why I agreed to be in a relationship with him. He divorced his wife, married me. Fast forward, we have one child now. My husband wants me to undergo tubal ligation. I refused and suggested he undergoes a vasectomy instead. He claims I'm disrespectful because of my stance. This procedure is irreversible and it will deny me the chance of ever getting pregnant again. He already has 2 kids with his ex-wife. We are just 3 years into the marriage and he wants me to do what? He has threatened to divorce me if I don't do what he wants. He also says that he will go for another woman. I call this bluff because I can find myself a better man too. My dream is to have a big family and he already wants to cut it short. I'm only 30 years old. If this marriage doesn't work, I'd want to be able to have more children with another man. He told his mother about it and she's been on my neck to give in, but I asked her to rather tell her son to go under the knife. Am I really being disobedient? What do I do? And this is from Upset Abigail. All right, so this is an interesting one. Let's see, Tina, do you have some thoughts on that?
I was hoping you would go to someone. So the little I have to say on this is that the signs were all there before she entered. Same thing that happened to his ex-wife is happening to him, to her. And what actually it is that history somehow has a way of repeating itself, especially when the man is adamant and he said to you that he's looking for a woman who will concentrate on him. You can see that everything is about him. Everything from the get-go is about him. He's a selfish man, full stop. He doesn't think about anybody. All he does is sits down, thinks about what he wants as a person, and he's pursuing his line of dream, or his dream, and he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. So your question is, are you being disobedient? I'm not sure what disobedience is in this context. You have said what you want. I don't know whether you stated to him in the beginning that you wanted a big family. But from what you're saying, it sounds like
he's done.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, he can call his bluff. You can call his bluff. Let him leave. And you think you're young enough. You want to find another person.
She claims she can find a better man.
By all means, my dear, do it. Pursue your dream to have a big family, and that is what you want. Why do you have to forsake what you want at the expense of some selfish person? So, you know, he doesn't love you. He loves himself.
Sure.
So please, love yourself too.
Love yourself too, Tina says. Olivia, I see you nodding and smiling. What are your thoughts on this one? Would you have, you know, gone under the procedure to keep your marriage in this circumstance?
No. Hey, you know, love me. I love myself as much as you love yourself, but we love each other the same. I mean, if he doesn't want to go under the knife, like Tina said, why should I go under the knife? I mean, treat others the way you want to be treated. And I mean, Tina couldn't have said it any better. You know, she summarized it, and I second with her. I mean, I agree with what Tina is saying. You don't want to go under the knife, so why should I go under the knife? It sounds like he's very selfish and he always has his way. And as always, rather than solve his problem, he runs to mommy. And mommy gets involved in the problem, or mommy gets involved in his marital affairs, and she's calling the shots. I mean, it's the same mommy that he went to. That's why he even divorced his previous wife, or I don't even know whether they were divorced, or, that's why his past relationship didn't even work out. So it sounds like he's a typical mommy's boy. He wants to have his way. He thinks the whole world is a merry-go-round. It's a playground. So he wants to have his way, and you can't treat people like that. And I think you're a smart woman. You know what you want for yourself. And clearly this isn't love, because if somebody loves you, they wouldn't treat you like that. Why does he think that it's okay for you to go under the knife, but it's not okay for him to go under the knife, especially when his situation is much easier and it's reversible and it doesn't even hurt and it doesn't even take that long? And clearly he hasn't even done the research he has to do, because he's not even thinking on an empathetic level of you. And he's trying to saddle you with his decisions. And relationship is go, come, it's about both people, where you're both at. This is the problem. How best do we address it together as a couple? It's not about one person taking a decision and saying, hey, Masa, this is what I think, therefore by force do it. And really, if you don't stand up for yourself now, you'll not only be going weird procedures like this, the next time you'll probably wake up and say that, he doesn't like the fact that you have your head on your body, so cut it off. So, my dear, I think that you know the answer, and I don't think you're being disrespectful at all. I think that you know what you want for yourself, and will help make it easier for you. You're on the right path. Clearly, you don't see this relationship heading anywhere, especially when mommy is constantly in the picture, and then he thinks it's okay to have things his way. So by all means, please move on. Like you're saying, you want a big family for yourself. You can see a better future for yourself. You have a vision for yourself. You have an idea as to what you expect life to be for yourself, and it's a good thing. So please, by all means, too much. Like I always say, Charlie, gentleman in corner, show how far. You'll be fine.
All right, Janimaninko, I miss hearing that line. Yeah. Rosina, what are you saying on this one?
I would completely agree with Tina. However, I have a little problem. I don't think she's a smart girl. She's also another selfish girl, if you'd permit me to say, because you see, this man told you that I have a wife, we have 2 children, and then she seems to be paying attention so much to the children. It means that he's a man who has a problem when attention is being given to children and he feels ignored. And you still sat in the background and quietly and orchestrated till the man had to divorce his wife to come and marry you. That makes you a very selfish person. If you know that you could get any man you want, why break somebody's home to make somebody else's husband become your husband? You see, that's my problem. So you're also very selfish. And I'm surprised that you're surprised that the man has asked you to undergo the same procedure, because his problem is your attention being on children. And you know what? There is no way, no matter how hard you are, quote unquote, for want of a better word, as a woman, the moment you have a baby, you go through the process of pregnancies, especially when you go through certain challenges, the whole birthing process, and you see this little human transform every day. There's a certain emotional bonding that occurs. And at that point in time, the kid is a vulnerable one, and that kid needs your attention. So every woman at some point in time is going to give some level of attention to the baby. So for you to kind of like be there and support the man, give the man enough energy to go ahead and divorce the wife to marry you, and now you are now writing to us as though you are so surprised that the man is asking you to undergo the same procedure. Girl, you knew what was going to happen, but you cared less. You wanted the man at all costs. I'm sure you didn't even discuss anything with the man that you wanted a big family. You didn't have any of this discussion. You were just jealous. You were just happy you were breaking another home and having this man to yourself. Now you've had one. He says, okay, I've given you one to solidify your position is enough. So go undergo the same procedure because you know where I stand. And you think that, so I have a problem with that. So, I mean, I agree with Tina and Olivia to a large extent that, okay, fine. If she were to be the first wife of the man, I would have gone with their submission 100%. But this is the case. You knew what you were getting into. This was the basis for the divorce of the first woman to come and marry you. So why are you acting all surprised? I mean, that's what beats my imagination. But by all means, let's put that aside. As a woman, I don't think that any man should put pressure on you to do any process you are not mentally and emotionally ready for. It has to be a discussion that should be had, and both of you have to agree on the way forward. The moment one person puts the foot down and decides that, no, this is my life, this is what I want to do, then it becomes a selfish stance. So by all means, moving away from how bad you treated somebody else's marriage. Now, if you take your marriage as what it is, then yes, Tina is perfectly right.
Right. I mean, I agree with all you sisters, right? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. It's that simple. I mean, he wants you to tie your tubes. He doesn't want to take or get a vasectomy. I mean, and what? Yeah, this is, for me, it would have been a non-starter. So if you won't do it, then I won't do it either. Or better yet, let's do it together. Then we all know we are double sure and safe that we're not having any kids. But like she said, she wants more kids. So then it's not even like, it's not up for conversation. She wants a bigger family. She doesn't just want one child. So unfortunately, you're going to have to go through the mill and watch this relationship die. Think through it properly. See if it's something what that's worth the risk, and go for it. We wish you the best of luck. A couple of messages here. So Ikea says, he asked his ex-wife to do a tubal ligation, accused her of making the children her priority, and then divorced her. I think he's pretty much trying to repeat that with you. You need to quit and do what makes you happy. Self-love first. Amma says, wow, what's good for the goose is also good for the gander. Madam, keep quiet and suffer away. God's Love says, knowing this man's history and going ahead to marry him was the first mistake, but no need crying over spilled milk. And no, you're not being disobedient. You're not his child. You're his partner, and you have rights to disagree. Now, as the woman, you need to center yourself and find out what you really want. Posh says, it is what it is. You watched his ex-wife go through all that and even pushed for the divorce, right? Were you thinking the situation would change for you? Perhaps you should prepare for your exit because another girl is on the way. Mariella says, karma is real. What were you doing dating a married man? He made his wife undergo tubal ligation. Did you think you'll be special? On the other hand, he has no right to make you do it. That's abuse. It must be a joint decision. Parkwisi says, don't be upset because you got into this to begin with. What goes around comes around. The man is being unreasonably selfish and advice that you stick to your stance through thick and thin. There's nothing disrespectful here. And Diana says, if I don't know why you're even stressing yourself. Don't do it, period. If he wants a divorce, let him go ahead, but don't let him divorce you with tubal ligation. You're too young to do that. If he is not interested in the marriage because of that, let him move on. And those are a couple of your comments. Thank you so much for watching Sister Sister on your favorite City TV. Now, don't forget, if you want some more exciting content, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We call it the City Tube. And don't forget to click on the bell to receive notifications for fresh updates.
Sister Sister, every Friday at 9 p.m. only on City TV.